to Let's Build Hogsmeade Station. Yay, something a little bit different. Hi! So, for those who have been following my Hogwarts tutorials, this is my main build. We're going to build something a little bit different other than Hogwarts today. There's our build. So we are going to build Hogsmeade train station in this one, and this will run alongside the Hogwarts tutorials. It's not going to interfere with the Hogwarts tutorials or the streams. I hope to release them at least once, maybe twice a week, or maybe even all at once. I'm going to release them as and when they're done. So I'll just give you a bit of a sneak peek. So what we're going to do to start off with is I'm going to give you a sneak peek. But not a sneak peek of Hogwarts, although you can just see a little bit more there. No, this way. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to build. So here's our boathouse. La la. I'm just going to follow the lily pads. Follow the lily pad road. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to build, so that you've already got an idea of it before we finished. And then I'm going to go through what I've already done, because there will be a little bit of off-screen work, and that will usually be around the landscaping and the cliffs, such as that. And then I'm going to walk you through some basic commands, because you're going to need those to build this cliff. You can do it manually, but it's going to take you an extremely long time. So I will just run through some very basic fill commands that you can use on the PC, on the Xbox, or on the PlayStation. Probably even the Switch. Although I don't know, I've never played Minecraft on the Switch, so I have no idea. And then we'll get to our build. We're hopefully going to build this staircase today. So we go with our staircase up. The best part about this is that we haven't actually seen these in the movies, nor is it described in the book, so you can build this part any way you want. And the way I've done the station is there's two stations in the first couple of films, and then in the last few films the station changes. The first few films are based on an actual station in Yorkshire somewhere. I forget the name of it, but it is based on a real station. What I've done here is I've merged those two stations into one, because we only really see bits of this, bits of that, bits of that. So all those bits are in here as one station. So we're going to come along here, and this is essentially what we see in the first couple of films. There's our bridge, and there's our buildings, and then we have the building in the last couple of films, particularly the fifth, I think you see it in. Where they come along here, which we will eventually do. That path will eventually go all the way to Hogwarts. But for now, it's just staying here for Hogsmeade. And this is what I'm going to show you how to build. There will be a train. I just haven't quite built it just yet, but I do intend to build it over the next couple of days. So by the time these get out, the train will be there, and the train will be included in the tutorials. We will do the tutorials for the train. But first things first, we need to do the land, I'm afraid. I think that looks pretty cool. There's the first couple of films, and there's the last couple of films, all together in one station. I'm quite proud of this. This, I think, looks fantastic. So let's crack on, shall we? That's what we're going to build. That's what I'm going to show you how to build. But first, I need to run you through some very, very basic commands. Okay, so this is the tutorial world. So if you're following the Let's Build Hogwarts series, this is roughly where you're up to. We have just built the divination tower. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different. I haven't finished the landscaping down the end though, which we will eventually get to. There's lots of landscaping. So essentially, you just want to put a straight line to the other end of this big lake that we built. So I've put some lily pads down as our guide, because when that side goes, you're going to get lost very easily. This is also one of the reasons I wanted you to make sure that the buildings were out of view when you got to each one. Because we're going to build the staircase that goes up to the top. That's the staircase that the first years come down. The first years come down from Hogsmeade Station down to the boathouse, and then they they row across in the boats. So as you can see, I have built a boathouse here. I've not quite finished it. It needs a bit of decoration still. But this boathouse is identical to that boathouse down there. So find the tutorial on how to build the boathouse and just replicate it. It is identical to that one. All you're doing is putting it at the other end of the lake. And you don't even have to make it identical. Like I say, we don't actually get to see any of this. So you can do it however you want. There's no wrong or right. You can do it any way you want to do it. You don't even have to build a giant cliff. You can put it on the floor if you really want to. So what I've done is I've just left a gap of 5 blocks between the wall of the lake and this. We will eventually, once we've built out the cliff a bit, we will delete the wall and the water will rush to meet the cliff, hopefully. So there's a gap of 10 blocks here between the wall of the lake and the wall of our cliff. So you've got 5 blocks there and 10 blocks there. The first chunk of the cliff, the first tier, is 30 blocks from the bottom to the top, or 20 blocks above the lake level. So if you really wanted to, you could just draw a line across and build up 20 blocks. Obviously this is not going to stay like this. It's a cliff, it's not meant to be flat, it's not meant to be even, it's not meant to be all identical. We will mess it up later. So 20 blocks at the top. See, 30 in total from the bottom to the top of this tier and 20 above sea level. Then you're going to move it in 5 blocks. Don't have to be 5 blocks. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a cliff. I'm just trying to make some of the work a little bit later, a little bit easier by staggering it. You can do a giant wall flat top to bottom if that's what you really want to do. So we go up another 20. So from this tier to the top of this one is 20 blocks. And then we go in another 5. And then we go up 16 to the top. Ta-da! And that's the top of our cliff. So you should be at level 70. You don't have to again. Like I said, you can put it on the floor if you really wanted to. But I think it would be nice to have it at the same level as Hogwarts. So for the time being, you could just build up to level 70 like we did with Hogwarts and go from there. But I will show you how to do some very basic commands. The fill command is probably the only command I know. So again, you can fill this in. I will give you the measurements as to how much you need to fill in. Whoops. It's easy to get lost when it all looks the same. So you want to come. Don't worry too much about this way. Nothing will be built over this way, so you can do whatever you want with this land. This is my practice area and messing about area. You can do whatever you want with this side of the boathouse. That side of the boathouse will be a pathway to Hogsmeade, which will be in the middle there. That will then connect to Hogwarts. So there's Hogwarts, then there'll be Hogsmeade and the station. There will be a path that runs through it all. That's the plan. So with this, you need to go out that way at least 400 blocks. Fairly certain. I'll just double check my numbers. Where's my signs gone? There they are. So you want to go straight on another 400 blocks at least. You can go more if you really want to. You can go as far as you want if you really wanted to, but at least 400 blocks in order to make it looking half decent. And you need to go that way 200 blocks. So 400 down, 200 that way. So again, we're going to show you some basic commands now, and hopefully it'll make building this cliff up a lot easier and certainly a lot faster. So as I said, this is pretty much the only command that I know. You should be able to use it on the Xbox, the PC and the PlayStation. I've never played the PlayStation, but the lady who taught me this plays on the PlayStation, so I'm assuming it works for the PlayStation too. So first things first, you want to stay at level 70. That middle number at the top corner is 70. You want to stay at level 70. Now you want to open your chat menu. Like that. If you already know your commands, I'd skip ahead a bit. So open your chat menu. On the Xbox, it's right on the D panel, the D-pad, the circle. I don't know what function it is on the PlayStation, but I do know the PlayStation has a chat box. And on the PC, it's T. So once you've opened your chat like this, you press /, then type fill space, and then squiggle. I know that's not what that's called, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, and I really can't be bothered googling it, so we're going to call it the squiggle. The squiggle, when you're on the Xbox and your chat comes up, you have the keyboard. If you press your trigger button, it flicks between 2 or 3 pages of different letters, symbols and numbers. The squiggle is on the bottom line of the second page. I don't know where it is on the Xbox and the PlayStation, very sorry. So, squiggle, -10, space. Squiggle, -1, space. Squiggle, -10, space. Squiggle, 10, no minus, space. Squiggle, -10, space. Squiggle, 10, no space, no minus, space. Now you can put in wherever you want to fill that area with. So we're using grass, so we want to fill it with grass. And then you press enter. Voila, you now have a chunk that's 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. 1 block below your feet. do the same again without typing it all up, you open your chat and you press up, and it will repeat the exact same command that you just put in. So you can then press enter again. We moved too far. So move across, open your chat channel, up, enter. See how quickly that goes? Up. Up. And that's it. That is what I use for all my fill commands. If you make a mistake and you put your grass where you don't want to put your grass and you want to remove the grass. So let's go up to level 80 because we've got a 10 by 10 block. So if I put in a block there, we now have a chunk of grass that we don't want. And I've moved. So this could take a while to fix. Never mind. So use the same commands: up, delete, grass, replace with A-I-R, and your big chunk will disappear. Same again, up, and it's gone. If you want to do a bigger space, change your 10s for 15. There will be a limit as to how much you can do. I think it is either 15 or 20, but you can change your blocks to do 15. So let's go back down to 70. Open our channel again, up. Let's take away the and put grass. You can use any block. So you could use deep slate. So you've got your list on the side there. All you need to do is scroll through your list, which is a little bit harder on the Xbox. But if you know what it is you need, you can just put it in there. For example, let's put some gravel in there, just because we can. Gravel! Whee! Look at that. Oh, that's kind of pretty. But that's why I chose gravel. I don't have to remove it now. So up. Let's put our grass back in. And we want to change the 10s to, say, a 15 to cover a bigger area. This is how I do mine. So if you want a smaller area, change your 10s to a smaller number, say 5. That -1, leave. Don't touch the -1. I don't understand the command itself, but I do know that the -1 number means 1 block below your feet. So always leave the -1 number the same and just change the rest. And now we have covered a bigger area. And you can just, once you get into a rhythm, you can do it really fast. Like so. And that is basic fill command. So once you've built up your cliff in chunks of 10s, that's how I did it. I did it in chunks of 10. So it's 30 from the base to the top. I think I just did 3 blocks of 10s on top of each other. I then moved in 5. So it all goes on where you're standing. So if you can stay in the same row or the same column, like so. Right, so again, we don't have to come all the way down here. It would be nice if you could do just a bit at the front by the lake.
I don't know that one.
Okay, it'd be nice if you could just do the bit at the front by the lake because it just gives that better view. But you don't need to do at the top bit here. Just do as much as you feel like you want to do. How much you're going to see from your Hogsmeade. There's a lake about here somewhere. Oh, there we are. I was a bit worried then I'd gone the wrong way. That's the only problem when you're using the same block all the time. It all blends in and looks the same and you get lost very easily. So, we're going to do our staircase from the boathouse to the top. I will do most of the landscaping of the cliff off screen. I will show you what I'm doing and how to do it, but I'll probably do most of that off screen because there's a lot to do there and it's going to take an age or two. But first, let's focus on the staircase. That's what I'm thinking about. So for our equipment, we're going to want some cobblestone. Wherever the cobblestone's gone. Cobblestone. We're going to need some cobblestone stairs. Some cobblestone wall. We're going to need some nether brick fence. And some lanterns. And I think that'll be it because I don't think she is getting much further than the staircase. I estimate that the Hogsmeade tutorials will take between 4 and 6 parts. I'm not entirely certain, but I can't see it taking that long, but there's still a significant amount to do at the same time. So where shall we put our staircase? We can put it wherever we want. I think I'm going to have it so that it is even on. That gives us, no, let's make it, okay, stairs. I want our stairs to be at least 3 blocks wide. Stick with this side, we're getting too picky now. So keep the stairs 3 blocks wide if you can and put a block on that side. So we are on level 15 now and we want to go up 26 blocks. I've forgotten to take note of what level it's meant to be on. Let me just see. Right. Okay, so we're on level 15. So we want to go up 26. So that's 25, 35, 36. We want to be on level 36. Yeah, no. Yeah. Sorry. I thought I'd planned this out really well, but I haven't. Okay, so when that middle number gets to 36 is when we stop. So we're going to just step it up. Got a new mouse, takes a bit of getting used to. You are going to cut into the cliff at some point. But that is intentional. So we're going to have to, this is why I cut it, stepped it in at 5 blocks, so we've got less to cut out. Okay. Didn't plan it as well as I thought I had. Let's put some grass back in there just so we can keep it neat and tidy. Right. So it's 35. So we want that level. Now then, you could use the fill commands that I've just taught you, because we're going to need to go in another 4 blocks, 5, 6. So if you change your numbers to 6, shall I do that or shall I not? That's the question. 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and fill in the stairs there. Same all the way down. Just fill it in with stairs. So no, I'm not going to use the commands to remove that chunk of dirt there. I will do it manually. I'll just use a bit of fast forward to do that, because I don't like using too many commands, because that's the whole point of this series, to keep things simple so that anybody can follow on any device. So I'm not going to overuse the commands, and that is pretty much the only one I know, other than teleport. That's it. That's the extent of my command knowledge. Okay, so now we're going to put some cobblestone wall on the end of those like that. Okay, and we're going to put some nether brick fence on the top of those there, and a lantern on the top of that. I'm going to put one down the bottom. Whoops, all over the place. And we'll probably put 2, a bit on the random places. Keep them level though. And another one about there. Yeah, that'll do. So just remove a little bit of block around here You can make it as rough as you want, it doesn't have to be neat. As I say with the landscaping, the messier the better. Okay, so what you want to do now is you're going to have to dig some of this out, or at least I'm going to have to dig some of this out. If you follow my instructions exactly, then you're going to have to dig some out as well. So we currently have 4 by 4. So you want another 2 rows out of there. And that is essentially a corner. So you need to remove the top of this. To the top. So we'll use a bit of fast forward now. Okay. Right, okay, that was painful. It feels like it's been an age since I've played Minecraft. It kind of has been a while. Christmas, New Year's, very, very busy time. Feels like ages. I feel like I'm very out of practice. Anyhow, we'll get there. Slowly. We're not stopping today until we've done this staircase. Right, so I think we'll remove that one there too. We'll leave that there, and we'll take away that one, that corner one. Right, we are going to have to remove a big chunk of this as well. There, sorry. So this part goes up 12. So we are on level 37. We need to take it up to level 49. Which is there. So, yeah, just remove a big chunk from this as well. Okay, so we'll put in some Okay, so we'll take it from about there. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, there's no right or wrong with this. You can do your cliff any way you want. You could even do your staircase just straight inwards if you really wanted to. Right, I'm just going to fast forward while I remove this chunk. Okay, again, you don't have to worry about this being neat. Make a mess. The messier the better. Oops. So stairs, 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 block, block. What level did I say this needs to be on? 12 high, 37, 47, 49. We're almost there. $48. $49. Okay, so we just want a good platform here now. 5 by 5 will do, I think. 4 by 5. Again, you can make them as big or as small as you want. How big have I made that? 5. Looks like we'll go 5 by 4. 5 by 5 even. Okay, so we want to remove a little bit more from there. So you might even want to replace some of this dirt with stone, cobblestone, wherever you fancy. I'm going to keep that wall low. We want that one back, don't we? Okay, so we want some cobblestone wall along the end there and on the sides. Put one there and we'll put one in the corner. Should we put one halfway? I think we will. Roughly halfway anyway. Yeah. Right, and I've poked a lot of holes in there. Worry about that later. At the moment, we're going to have to smooth this out a little bit. So we're just gonna go to the top. Whoops. Back down. Don't worry about that, we're about to cut into that side anyway. Oh, can't get my fingers right today. Okay. Again, if you know your fill commands, just fill it with It does make things a lot faster. Took me a while to build my confidence with though. I was frightened of making a mistake and making more work for myself, which did actually happen a few times. Which is how you learn. Okay. So we're now going to go in that way, so we're going to have to remove more cliff. I think a lot of that will have to be removed as well. You know what? I think we will use a fill command. I think we'll stand at the top middle here. Go down to level 70, open the chat, press the up button, replace the grass with There we go. What's that? Oh, that's where I've just not filled it in properly. We'll fix that later. For now. There we go. Because I didn't fill it all in. I just went around the edges. Right, so we now want to come in this way. By how many we want to keep our width? This is 4 wide plus the ends is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that back just so we get our bearings. It's so much quicker with those commands. 2, 3 and 4, and cobblestone at the end. And we're going to go up 6 blocks, so not very far. So we want to go up to, so we're on 49, we want to go up until it says 55. In fact, no, because that means the next one's going to be, we'll go up 8. So we've started on 49, so we're going to go up 8, so we will stop on level 57. Okay, so up to 57. And we could probably do with our wall back there, probably taking a bit too much off there. See what I mean with the fill commands? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to alter our fill commands because we'll be here all day otherwise. So there's our fill commands. We're going to change the earth for grass, and we're going to reduce our numbers from 15 to 5. Again, leave that -1 as it is. So we're on level 55, so let's go up to 60 because we're in 5s. We don't want a gap. Let's go up to 65. Don't want to go too far off the edge there. And then up to 70. Whoops, I moved. That's not good. So that's roughly right. Again, it doesn't matter if you make a bit of a mess. That's the best part of the clip. Make a mess. Okay, so we're 49, what was it, 57 we said, so we want to go up 8, that's 55, 56, and 58, okay, fair enough, we'll stay there. So I think we came up 9? Yes, we did. We came up 9. So 9. I'm making a mess of this of myself for my editing. I'm going to be making a liar of myself at some point. So again, we want another platform. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll make it 5 by 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go up that way. So we have taken away far too much earth. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill this side in here. Let's go up, wrong buttons, chat command open. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I took 1 too many. Which is fine. So what level was that? 59. You don't have to go up by 5. You can go up by less than that if you wanted. Okie dokie. So now we're on 58. So we want to take that up that way now, and we're going to go until we get to the top now. So level 70. I'm hoping I've not made too much of a mess of this for you guys. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Okay, so is that level 70? It is. We might have gone a bit too far actually. There we go. Right. So So let's fill some of this back in, shall we? Because we've come to take too much. There we go. No, we want to come up one more actually. Okay, let's put some more dirt back in here, that corner. There we go. So how much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about this empty space here, that's perfectly fine. I think we'll fill some in here. Let's do the stairs first. It might be better to fill that bit in manually. Cobblestone wall. And down this side too. We didn't do this side. Don't need it there because we've got the cliff wall there. Let's fill those holes in. It does look like a cheese, Swiss cheese. We don't want it to look like Swiss cheese, we want it to look like a cliff. Just even that out a bit. Just fill that in underneath there. Yeah, I think it's best doing this bit manually. There we go. Right, so just want to take chunks out of this now, just smooth it out. That's probably the best way to do it, so it's not looking like corners. We can take our signs down now, we don't need those. Again, just make it nice and rough. cliff. It's meant to be smooth. Just try and blend it in so it curves. I say I probably do a lot of this off screen. There we go. That's the start of it. See? So that's all you need to do. Make a mess. Going to add some bits in here so it looks like it's going to curve down a bit rather than straight edges. So it's very similar to how we did the landscaping around Hogwarts down that cliffside. Just trying to stretch it out a bit. And then throw in some stone, throw in some cobblestone. Just to smooth it out, make some holes. You could even use some TNT, blow some holes in there, put some caves in there. There's no reason why you can't have a nice big cave system there. Put some divots in there. You could use diorite, you could use gravel, you could use andesite. I don't know if I say that correctly, but hey ho. Pronunciation's really rubbish. So let's get rid of all the signs. So yeah, just make mincemeat out of it all. Throw in some stone. Same with this, you can just even it out a bit, smooth it out. It's going to take a while, and it'll take me a while fiddling. It's something I'm going to probably keep coming back to. Oops. Just want to bulk that out a little bit. You can see how it's taking shape. You just got to do that all over it, or as far as you want it to go, which is why I'm going to end up doing a lot of this off screen and may even enlist a little bit of help. So what I'll do is I will make a mess of this. I'll punch holes in there. I will throw some dirt in there. Whoops, a daisy. I want to throw some dirt in down here as well. Oh, sand as well. Use some sand, especially down here, because it's your bottom of your lake, essentially, this. So let's get some sand. Oops. We'll throw some gravel in there. Got cobblestone, so let's get some stone. And some sand. So we can throw a bit of gravel about. Ooh, you can throw some clay about. Throw some sand. Some dirt. Just to try and make it nice and smooth. So yeah, so probably take me a while to do that. Again, I should probably enlist some help myself. I won't touch the lake until we're done, so that you can see. Oh, see, look, squids are moving out now. Yay! I did put more in there. So, punch holes, add some dirt, add some stone, add some gravel, add some sand. You could put some grass in there as well, some weeds. You can put some flowers in there. It's going to take a while. So where are we for time? I think we've been going about an hour. Whoopsie-daisy. What I'm going to do now though is just show you exactly, or roughly, not exactly, there's no exactlies with this at the moment, roughly where the station itself is going to go. So if we look at our figures, we've got 580, 70 and minus 66. So if we go forward, our minus 66 changes. I'd say about 100 blocks. So call it minus 60, round it down a bit. So we want to go forwards 100 blocks, roughly. You can go further if you wish, you can come closer if you wish. It depends how much of a path you want from the Hogsmeade station to the boathouse. So we're going to go roughly 100 blocks. So off we go. So we want it to say minus 160. Roughly where that sign is. Okay, I wonder if I'd planned that ahead. So we've gone roughly 100 blocks from there. Now if we go to the edge, I think it's 568. Yep, so we'll just move forward so it says 570, round it up. And we're going to go forwards about 50 blocks. So we want that to say about 620-ish. You can go further if you wish. You can stay closer if you wish. Whoops. Okay, I'll make it 630. Oh, there's another sign there. Okay. We're going to stick with that sign. That's obviously where I've planned it before. So 630, so we've gone forwards 650-ish from, what was the beginning? I think we might have gone forward 100 blocks there. Yeah, 560 to 660. Oops. 100 blocks ish. 100 blocks in that way, 100 blocks down this way, roughly. And this is where we're going to start our tracks for our Hogsmeade, which is why you need at least 400 blocks. Our tracks are going to be at least 300 blocks. You know what? No, I think we're going to stick with the original 50 that I had in my head. So that was what? 570. So 620. You know what? It doesn't really make any difference, does it? It's only a few blocks. I'm quibbling over nothing here, aren't I? Right, fine. We'll go stick with 100 blocks. I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill here. Okay, 100 blocks in that way, 100 blocks in that way. If we have to add more dirt at the end, then we'll add more dirt at the end. It's easy with the commands, isn't it? So, but our tracks are going to be about 300 blocks in length. So you're going to want a little bit of space at the end there. And we should have about 100 blocks spare on this side, which we do. So that should be more than enough for our Hogsmeade. If not, we'll just add more dirt. So here we're just going to build a basic stone wall. How wide do we want this wall? 15 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we'll make it 6 blocks high. add another 3. Right, so that is the end buffer wall. That's where our tracks are going to start from. The buffers, that's where the train stops to, or turns around, wherever a train does at the end of the buffers. But how far from there? That's where I've got. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. That's where we are there. Edge of the building, so we've got 16 and 21. Right, we'll worry about the path later. We can start it though. We might as well, because we haven't got time to do a lot more of anything else, so we might as well start our path. So we want a shovel. Can't finish the path until we've got a building or 2 in. We know where we're building to. But there's the buffer, so it's going to be roughly along there. So when you get a shovel and you right click instead of left click, it turns your ground into the villager dirt. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a nice little path that leads over there. You can curve your path any way you want. You can make your path as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. Okay, I'm going to try and stick to 3 blocks now. Where are we? Let's go a little bit further. And then I think we'll curve it round a little bit. And this is just completely random. Where are we? We'll make it a little bit longer. And then we'll curve it in a bit. Make it that way. Nice windy path. If you want to add a couple of layers of dirt so that it goes up and down, go right ahead. Okay, so we want to move across this way now. And I think we'll probably leave the path there until we've got some buildings in and we know where we're connecting the path to. The path is getting wider. Here we go, a random path. You can line your path with trees, spruce trees. I use a lot of spruce trees because it looks like spruce trees in the 5th film. They're surrounded by trees and it looks like spruce trees, so we use a lot of spruce trees. Line your path with spruce trees, with flowers, with weeds, anything you want. I'm not going to do that yet. I think I'm done for today. Next time on Let's Build Hogsmeade Station, we are going to focus on the platform and the train tracks. So I'm hoping you've enjoyed this. I'm hoping you followed it easy enough. I'm hoping you managed to get the commands easy enough. If not, you can do it manually by hand. It's just going to take you a couple of months. But that's entirely up to you. So until then, I don't know how long these are going to take. I don't know how many parts there's going to be. I might have a better idea by the time I come to editing, so it might come up on your screen as to how many parts are in this or how often they're going to be, but it won't interfere with the Hogwarts ones. Any questions? Need any help? Come join us on our Discord, Potter's Nights. We'll answer any questions there. I will try my best to help you if you're struggling. If I've not made things clear enough, come smack me over the head and I shall try again. So until then, I would say next week, but it won't be next week. It might be a few days. I don't know. So until next time, for Let's Build Hogsmeade, take care of yourselves, like and subscribe.